Well, so much for Wonelli. Instead, breaking news from the National Basketball Association and Shams Charania of ESPN.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
The Milwaukee Bucks are open for business on trade calls and offers for two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, entering the NBA Draft Combine and over 6 weeks away from the draft, league and team sources told ESPN. There is expected to be a robust market for Antetokounmpo, and ownership and front office officials expect to maintain their trade deadline asking price for a young blue-chip talent and/or a surplus of draft picks, sources said. Tausch? No blank.
Not shocked, and I think all of this conversation, Giannis last week, kind of past tensing things. I don't think anybody's shocked. This is kind of how things have unfolded, and I think from the Bucks standpoint, it's great to have Giannis. He's been, as we've said it numerous times, doesn't need to even be said, but it does. He's given everything to this city. He's brought us a championship. And if this is the road he wants to go down, I have no hard feelings. I think kudos, work it out and get the haul. Now, if he starts dictating where you can send him, that's when things will get interesting. Because if I'm the Bucks, I'm not doing that. But if I'm another team, I'm not giving anything up if I don't have him for the next 4 or 5 years, which is signing this supermax. So signing Giannis to a supermax and then trying to find a way to get the team to be. We just saw that this year. We were all, they're doing everything. They, flexed out Dame and they brought in old boy and all this, and it just was a disaster. So I'm good with moving along. I think this is the right move, and now's the hard part. Finding the right team that's going to give you the right assets back that you can reset, because you're never going to find another Giannis. That is not happening. It's a matter of, can you find enough young talent that you can start building on something? And I think our fan base would be completely fine if that is indeed the case, and I'm sure it will be.
The Washington Wizards won the lottery. They have the number 1 overall pick.
We're not taking Anthony Davis for him. We're not going to Doncic it. We're not interested in a Doncic trade.
Jimmy Haslam has said publicly and privately, per Shams, that the Bucks will work with Antetokounmpo in the coming weeks on an outcome that is best for both sides.
I'm more interested in it being good on our side.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
The Jimmy Haslam part of this is, I think, concerning. I mean, seems like he is stepping up, and how's that work down in Cleveland now?
As you mentioned,
I think Myles Garrett to the Packers as part of this trade is something that we should at least entertain.
Outside the box. Love it.
Let's entertain it. Could you imagine Myles and Micah? We would give up Lucas Van Ness for that, right?
And Giannis.
Giannis and Lucas Van Ness for Myles Garrett. And, I mean, they're talking about the Cavaliers are one of the teams that they're saying that was the rumor last week. I don't even know who the dude is that they're the bigger guy. I don't even know who it is that they were thinking about bringing.
But their coach is Kenny Atkinson.
We'll give up the Greek Freak and Hercules for Myles Garrett.
What a
Jesse,
world that somehow plays out that way.
It's not going to play out that way.
I think there's
No, it won't, but it could.
I think there's 3 teams, depending on how some things play out in the playoffs, that the Bucks can make a nice little road trip to call first and hang out with and see what they want to do. I'd start in San Antonio. I'd work up to Oklahoma City, and then I'd sprinkle Houston in there at some point. Maybe that directions don't make sense. San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma City. Those are the
NBA.
Those are the 3 that have young, talented players who the Bucks with Taylor Jenkins could quickly turn things around, that are looking. Well, Oklahoma City not so much, but they're going to be in a situation where they have to pay everybody pretty soon. Houston can't get over the hump. That's the one that's really interesting. And San Antonio, depending on how it plays out with Wemby, You're not obviously going to get Wemby, but if you can get some of those other talented players around him, if they think pairing those two works.
So do we trust Jesse's insights over Shams?
No.
I don't.
No.
Did he give us a list?
Because Shams has a list in the story.
Oh,
let's hear
great. Who's on Shams' list?
And none of the teams that Jesse just said are mentioned in his story.
Okay.
Well,
who's in Shams' list? We'll
I think
compare the list just like we did with Mom's.
I'd be interested in a poll. Do you trust me or Shams more from our fans? That's a real interesting decision people would have to make.
Multiple teams expected to pursue Antetokounmpo this offseason, such as the Golden State Warriors with the 11th pick and the Miami Heat with the 13th pick, received their lottery picks to solidify potential offers. The NBA playoffs represent another landmark point for the Antetokounmpo sweepstakes. Sources said postseason teams such as the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tausch, you said that, the Boston Celtics, the Knicks, and the Los Angeles Lakers.
I don't want Austin Reeves for Giannis. And I don't want I'm trying to think who the Timberwolf is that they were talking about giving up. This can be a tough pill to swallow when this happens. Like, we can all sit here and say it. It's like when Ted Thompson said, all that's is great till you have to put pen to paper on something and get rid of, not even arguably, the greatest Milwaukee Buck ever, and he still has some, I don't know if he's got elevator years left, but he's still got some really good basketball ahead of him if he can stay healthy. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
Indeed it is. So there you go. That is the breaking news from the NBA. How do you think this gets done before the draft?
Yes. Yep.
That's what Jimmy said.
What did Shams say?
Well, it's again further down in the story. He says, and he's quoting, rival executives believe that Antetokounmpo's desired teams will have the largest factor in his trade destination. The conversation will be simple. Where does Giannis want to be moved, and where will he sign long term? So maybe it's not going to be as uncomplicated as we think. I'm curious to see how that plays out. We will wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.